For the Philippines to have a sustainable economic development, our government must focus on improving the country's political stability. Now, what is political stability? It is the durability and the integrity of a current government regime. Now, it is very important that our government must focus on improving our political stability. It is because once a government is much stable enough, it is able to implement laws and rules and regulations that will help protect rights and make sure that everything is peaceful and order as we want it to be, in order for the country to run well and in its economy to thrive. Now, why is it important? Because if we see it as like an unsustainable government, there will be much changes, and too much changes and abrupt ones will always affect long-term plans, and it will also affect the economic development. And by the way, economic development means that the economic growth is sustained for a long period of time. And what is economic growth? It is the increase in the society's productive capacity. Now, if a country is very much sustainable and very like fixed, investors would want to invest in that country because for them it seems attractive and safe enough to invest there and put in their businesses. And if there are more businesses, there will be more firms, which will mean that there will be more jobs, which will then result to a better productivity rate of this country. Now, political stability does not only affect the business side of things, but it will also affect other non-economic factors such as peace and order, culture, and technology, which will be then later on expounded by my next speaker. And I think that will be all. Thank you.
Culture is a vital part of human development. To be able to express and celebrate one's identity without interference or exclusion, it is essential to participate in our cultural life. The culture is our tool for development. It stimulates creativity, innovation, human progress, and well-being. Cultural activities can create income and jobs that break cycle of poverty. Securing recognition for their cultural heritage is the key step to the empowerment of indigenous people and other marginalized groups. 18 programs around the globe have harnessed culture through the help of MDG to create jobs and spur economic growth, protecting cultural heritage, promote gender equality and opportunities for youth, and use culture to improve health, build peace, and increase the participation of indigenous groups in national processes. Creating economic opportunities in the cultural sector with a focus on disadvantaged communities. We must foster the culture's economic potential by giving artists and cultural entrepreneurs their training and resources to produce and market their creations. In Cambodia, there were 800 indigenous training entrepreneur skills, including marketing and quality control, exhibition, costing, and consignment techniques. Frequently, cultures assign gender roles embedded within equalities. Yet culture can also broaden the opportunities for gender equality through economic empowerment. For example, in Egypt, more than 100 women earned their own income for the first time after being trained to produce craft for tourists. This has enhanced their roles in households and their communities. Young people should be countered by the government's work. Culture is giving them new means to communicate as well as the opportunities for careers in vibrant sectors such as audiovisual production and tourism and arts. Protecting cultural and natural heritage. The Senegal were recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. With a better use of resources and protection, fishers in that delta tripled their monthly fish catching and increased their prices, using culture for reconciliation, peace, and dialogue. When education system adapts to different cultures and fosters intercultural dialogue, more children have access to education, which increases social inclusion, increasing access to health through adaptation to culture. To unleash the power of culture, cultural institutions must be stronger. The government should produce new policies, institutions, and laws that boost our culture's contribution to a wide range of human development. In Ecuador, equality councils have been created created that monitor public policies to ensure that they are equitable and embrace multicultural values. By supporting culture, the MDG Funds has been assisting cultures around the world to develop, flourish, and empower women, youth, and expanding opportunities. Thank you.
Technology. So, when we think about technology, what do we think about? And so, if we look up the definition of technology, technology is the use of science in industry, engineering to invent useful things or to solve problems. I believe when we think about technology, we think about long-term growth and development, and it can be able to help in the overall welfare of our nation. Why? Because it can be able to help in our education, in our hospitals, in our laborers, in our businesses, in our entrepreneurs, and lastly, in our communication. First, technology. By the government giving importance in our technology, in our education, children are able to learn more than what they learn inside the classroom. They're able to find new sources for information. And through having great education and through having more well-informed students, we will be able to produce more productive workers in order for the growth and productivity of our nation to grow. Second is it can be able to help in our hospitals. Why in our hospitals? Because through having advanced technology, we are able to have MRIs, X-rays, and other medical equipment that can be able to help people in our nation be able to be aware if they have different kinds of illnesses. Because they are able to be aware, more and more people are able to be healed. And third, it can be able to help in our communication. Through having advanced technologies in our communication, we are able to connect more to people instead of waiting for 4 days to a week in order to receive a message. Lastly, it is important for us to have technology in our nation because through having advanced technologies, different types of entrepreneurs and businesses from other nations are able to see the Philippines as a nation where they can venture their different kinds of businesses.
As first speaker of this group, I hereby speak why peace and order should be considered the most important non-economic factor that affects economic development. First of all, I will talk about the effects of peace. Peace and order is an essential ingredient in maintaining economic development, social order, and political stability. The effects of peace and order include efficient institutions, increase in labor and capital, good governance, gaining the confidence of investors locally and internationally, which leads to the production growth, which generates more employment opportunities and attracts more tourists. Peace means the absence of unfriendliness and violence, intensive but not abusive. Actions of policymakers and communities promote the standard of living, the safety and security of the people, and healthy interpersonal and international relationships. The Philippine government has acknowledged the importance of internal security and maintenance of peace and order and its role in nation building. The importance of providing a sense of security among people in public spaces cannot be underestimated. Hence, there is a need for the maintenance of peace and order in the community to provide a secure feeling as well for the safety for the residents. Human resources which are made by skilled workers have been migrated to abroad due to the non-peace environment. Only in ages of order are the people able to live and work in peace and contentment, and only then can the country thrive and prosper. Second of all, peace and order must be given the most attention, considering the effects of crime. Crime is studied as the cause and not the consequence of an economic downfall. The damage caused by crime has a significant negative impact on social welfare, which will lead to serious problems for the creation and maintenance of a developed and well-functioning economy. It imposes large costs to private and public sectors, which have a negative impact on personal state of being of an individual, as well as on the welfare of the society as a whole. Economic losses caused by crime present an opportunity cost because the money spent could yield some tangible and intangible returns. if invested with care. Therefore, it seems reasonable to think that crime has a negative impact on the economic development of a country. The types of costs and effects are widely varied. In addition, some costs are short-term while others last a lifetime. Of course, the ultimate cost is loss of life. Other costs to victims can include medical costs, property losses, and loss of income. Crime not only affects economic productivity when victims miss work, but communities are also affected through loss of tourism and retail sales. Even the so-called victimless crimes of prostitution, drug abuse, and gambling have major social consequences. Drug abuse affects worker productivity, uses public funds for drug treatment programs and medical attention, and leads to criminal activity to support the expenses of a drug habit.